Ladies and gentlemen, imagine standing in the middle of a storm. Chaos around you, winds howling, pressure mounting, yet inside you are steady, grounded, unshaken. That is emotional strength. It is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to stand tall despite it. We often think strength comes from muscles or power, but the strongest people in the world are not those who lift the heaviest weights. They are the ones who rise after every fall. Today I want to share with you 10 habits that build emotional strength. Habits that shape the way we respond, endure, and thrive. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional strength. It is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Without self-awareness, we react impulsively, allowing emotions to control us rather than consciously choosing our responses. When we cultivate self-awareness, we gain the power to navigate life with greater clarity, confidence, and resilience. The journey to self-awareness begins with introspection. Many of us go through life on autopilot, reacting to situations without questioning why we feel or act a certain way. But emotionally strong individuals take the time to reflect. They ask themselves, why did that situation trigger me? What emotions am I actually feeling? Is my reaction based on the present moment or something from my past? By developing the habit of self-reflection, we begin to understand the deeper layers of our emotions and the patterns that shape our behavior. One of the most powerful tools for self-awareness is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present, observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment. It allows us to step back and see our feelings as they are, rather than becoming consumed by them. For example, instead of saying, I am angry, a mindful person would say, I am experiencing anger. This small shift in perspective creates space between ourselves and our emotions, giving us the ability to choose how we respond rather than reacting impulsively. Another crucial aspect of self-awareness is understanding our triggers. Triggers are specific situations, words, or behaviors that cause strong emotional reactions in us, often tied to past experiences or deep-seated beliefs. Perhaps a colleague's criticism feels like a personal attack, not because of their words, but because it reminds us of a time when we felt inadequate. There's a famous book that I really love called The Secrets. When we identify our triggers, we can begin to unpack them and respond more rationally instead of being controlled by past wounds. Self-awareness also involves recognizing our strengths and weaknesses. Emotionally strong people are not afraid to acknowledge their flaws. They understand that self-improvement begins with honesty. By identifying areas where we struggle, whether it's impatience, defensiveness, or insecurity, we can work on developing better habits and responses. At the same time, self-awareness allows us to embrace our strengths. When we know what we're good at, we can build on those qualities to create a more confident and empowered version of ourselves. Feedback is another essential component of self-awareness. We all have blind spots, things about ourselves that we don't notice, but that others see clearly. Seeking constructive feedback from trusted friends, mentors, or colleagues can provide valuable insight into our behaviors and how they impact those around us. Instead of viewing feedback as criticism, emotionally strong people see it as an opportunity to grow. They listen with an open mind, reflect on what resonates, and use that knowledge to refine their actions. Emotional intelligence, which is deeply linked to self-awareness, plays a crucial role in how we interact with others. When we understand our own emotions, we become better at recognizing emotions in others. This enhances our ability to communicate effectively, resolve conflicts, and build meaningful relationships. People who lack self-awareness often struggle with relationships because they misinterpret emotions, take things personally, or fail to understand how their behavior affects others. A strong sense of self-awareness also helps us align our actions with our values. Many people experience stress and dissatisfaction because they live in a way that contradicts their true beliefs and desires. Emotionally strong individuals take the time to define what truly matters to them, whether it's integrity, kindness, growth, or balance, and make choices that reflect those values. When our actions align with our core beliefs, we experience greater inner peace and confidence. Developing self-awareness is a lifelong journey. It requires patience, practice, and a willingness to be honest with ourselves. Journaling can be an effective tool in this process, helping us track our thoughts and emotions over time. Meditation and self-reflection exercises also enhance our ability to tune into our inner world. Most importantly, self-awareness requires a mindset of curiosity rather than judgment. Instead of criticizing ourselves for our mistakes or weaknesses, we should approach them with the question, what can I learn from this? In the end, self-awareness is the key to emotional strength because it puts us in control of our own lives. When we understand ourselves deeply, we are no longer at the mercy of our emotions or external circumstances. We gain the ability to choose how we respond to challenges, nurture healthier relationships, and live with greater intention. The more we cultivate self-awareness, emotional regulation is the ability to manage and respond to emotional experiences in a balanced way. It doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring emotions, but learning how to cope with them effectively so they don't control us. The process of mastering emotional regulation is essential for emotional strength because our emotions are powerful forces that can either fuel our growth or hold us back, depending on how we handle them. The key is to not allow our emotions to dictate our decisions or actions, but to use them as signals that guide us in making thoughtful, conscious choices. The first step in mastering emotional regulation is recognizing that emotions are natural and inevitable. Everyone experiences a wide range of emotions, from joy and excitement to anger and fear. These emotions are not inherently good or bad. They are simply signals that reflect our thoughts, values, and perceptions in any given moment. Emotionally strong people understand that emotions are valid, but they don't let them overwhelm or define them. Instead of judging emotions as good or bad, they acknowledge them and choose how to respond. The next step is emotional awareness. To regulate our emotions, we need to be aware of what we're feeling and why. This involves developing the ability to recognize and label emotions in real time. For example, if we're feeling frustrated during a meeting, we can pause and identify the specific emotion, whether it's frustration, anxiety, or disappointment, and then explore its root cause. Are we upset because we feel unheard? Are we anxious because we're worried about an upcoming deadline? The more we can identify the emotional triggers and understand the underlying thoughts or circumstances causing them, the easier it is to regulate them effectively. Once we've identified our emotions, we can begin to employ strategies to manage them. One common technique is taking a pause before reacting. When emotions run high, it's easy to react impulsively, whether through outbursts, withdrawal, or poor decision-making. Taking a moment to breathe and create space between the emotional trigger and our reaction can make a significant difference. This pause allows us to evaluate the situation from a more grounded perspective, making it easier to respond thoughtfully instead of acting in the heat of the moment. A few deep breaths or counting to 10 can help reset our emotional state, giving us time to regain control. Another important strategy for emotional regulation is reframing negative thoughts. Often our emotional reactions are not purely based on the events around us, but on our interpretations of those events. For instance, if someone cuts us off in traffic, we may feel anger or frustration, but this feeling is often fueled by thoughts like, "How rude! They're doing this on purpose." Reframing involves challenging these automatic thoughts and replacing them with more balanced perspective. Instead of assuming the other person's actions are a personal attack, we can remind ourselves that they might be having a bad day or simply made a mistake. By changing the way we perceive a situation, we change the emotional response we have to it, making it easier to remain calm and composed. A third strategy for emotional regulation is practicing self-compassion. Often we struggle with regulating our emotions because we're too hard on ourselves. When we experience negative emotions, we may criticize ourselves for not being able to control our feelings or for reacting too strongly. Emotionally strong individuals recognize that they are human, that it's okay to experience intense emotions. Instead, rather than being critical or judgmental of themselves, they offer kindness and understanding. This self-compassion helps them weather difficult emotions without getting lost in guilt or shame, which only intensifies the emotional experience. Additionally, cultivating emotional resilience is vital to emotional regulation. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and handle stress in a healthy way. Emotionally resilient individuals understand that challenges and setbacks are part of life, and they focus on how they can learn and grow from these experiences. They don't allow negative emotions to control them, even during tough times. Instead, they draw on their inner strength and support systems to move forward with a positive mindset. Building resilience involves strengthening our coping mechanisms, developing a growth-oriented mindset, and practicing gratitude, all of which can help us manage emotions more effectively during times of stress. Physical self-care also plays a significant role in emotional regulation. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, and relaxation techniques are all essential in maintaining emotional balance. When our bodies are well rested, nourished, and physically active, we're better equipped to handle stress and regulate our emotions. Lack of sleep, poor nutrition, and physical inactivity can make it harder to manage emotions, as they can contribute to feelings of irritability, anxiety, or fatigue. In conclusion, mastering emotional regulation is not about eliminating negative emotions or always remaining calm and collected. It's about developing the skills to manage emotions in a healthy, constructive way. It's about understanding that emotions are signals, not commands, and learning how to respond to them with wisdom and clarity. By cultivating emotional awareness, taking pauses, reframing negative thoughts, practicing self-compassion, building resilience, and prioritizing self-care, we can master the art of emotional regulation and create a more emotionally strong and balanced life. Resilience is not a trait that some people are simply born with. It's a mindset that can be developed over time. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to face life's challenges with courage, and to continue moving forward no matter the setbacks. The foundation of building resilience is rooted in how we perceive and respond to difficulties. Our mindset shapes how we interpret struggles, and it ultimately determines our capacity to endure and grow from them. By adopting a growth-oriented mindset, we can build the mental and emotional strength needed to thrive in the face of adversity. A key aspect of developing resilience is shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence are static and that failures reflect their limitations. When faced with challenges, they are more likely to give up, believing that success is out of their reach. On the other hand, those with a growth mindset understand that abilities can be developed through effort and learning. They view failure not as a reflection of their inadequacy, but as a stepping stone toward improvement. This shift in perspective is crucial for building resilience because it enables us to see obstacles as opportunities to learn rather than insurmountable barriers. Another critical element of resilience is the ability to reframe setbacks. Instead of seeing challenges as overwhelming or insurmountable, resilient individuals view them through a lens of possibility. They understand that setbacks are temporary and that they have the ability to change their circumstances. When faced with adversity, they don't ask themselves, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, they ask, "What can I learn from this?" This mindset of curiosity and openness allows them to find solutions, adapt to the situation, and continue moving forward. They know that the path to success is rarely linear and that obstacles are part of the process. Building resilience also requires accepting that we cannot control everything. Life is unpredictable, and not all events are within our power to influence. Resilient people understand that their ability to adapt to circumstances is far more important than trying to control everything. By letting go of the need to control every outcome, they free themselves from the stress and frustration that comes from fighting against things they cannot change. Instead, they focus on what they can control, namely their reactions, attitudes, and actions. This shift in focus helps them stay grounded during difficult times and allows them to navigate challenges with greater ease. One of the most powerful tools for building resilience is cultivating optimism. Optimism doesn't mean ignoring the reality of challenges, but it involves maintaining a positive outlook, even in difficult circumstances. Resilient people believe that things can improve, that they can make progress, and that their efforts will eventually pay off. This belief in a better future fuels their determination and helps them persist through hardships. Optimism acts as a mental buffer, protecting them from feelings of hopelessness or despair. Even in the face of failure, they remain confident that with effort and perseverance, they can overcome the next obstacle. Another key component of resilience is emotional regulation. Emotions are an inevitable part of life, and we all experience moments of fear, sadness, frustration, and doubt. Resilient individuals don't ignore or suppress their emotions. Rather, they learn to manage them in ways that allow them to move forward. When faced with adversity, emotionally resilient people acknowledge their feelings, but they don't allow those emotions to dictate their actions. They know how to pause, take a deep breath, and choose their response rather than reacting impulsively. This ability to regulate emotions enables them to maintain focus, clarity, and composure during tough times. Building resilience also involves cultivating a sense of purpose. People who have a clear sense of purpose are more likely to persist through challenges because they understand that their struggles have meaning. Whether it's a personal goal, a passion, or a greater cause, having something to strive for can help us push through adversity. When faced with setbacks, resilient individuals remind themselves of why they are doing what they're doing and use their sense of purpose as motivation to keep going. This connection to something larger than themselves provides the strength and determination to keep moving forward even when the going gets tough. Finally, resilience requires the support of others. No one can build resilience in isolation. While the individual mindset is essential, the strength of a resilient person often comes from the relationships and support systems they have. When faced with difficulty, resilient individuals reach out for help, whether it's from family, friends, mentors, or colleagues. They recognize that seeking support is not a sign of weakness, but a tool for growth. Being able to lean on others for encouragement, advice, and perspective can make a world of difference when navigating tough situations. In conclusion, resilience is not something that we either have or don't have. It is a mindset and a set of behaviors that we can develop. By adopting a growth mindset, reframing setbacks, letting go of the need for control, cultivating optimism, regulating our emotions, finding purpose, and seeking support, we can build the resilience needed to overcome life's challenge. Resilience is about embracing difficulties, knowing that they are temporary, and continuing to move forward with determination, strength, and hope. With the right mindset, we not only survive adversity, but emerge from it stronger and more capable than ever before. A growth-oriented support system is one that nurtures and challenges you, providing both emotional support and constructive feedback. It plays a vital role in personal development as it connects you with people who push you to become better versions of yourself. Building such a network requires careful thought, as not all relationships will help you grow. To create a truly supportive and growth-driven environment, you need to surround yourself with individuals who inspire, challenge, and motivate you to pursue your goals and evolve in meaningful ways. The first step in developing a growth-oriented support system is to identify individuals who share similar values and aspirations. These are the people who will understand your vision and support you when times get tough. Being surrounded by like-minded individuals can significantly boost your motivation and sense of purpose. A support system filled with people who understand your ambitions and share in your journey helps create a sense of camaraderie. These individuals will not only celebrate your successes, but will also help you navigate the challenges and setbacks that inevitably arise along the way. However, a growth-oriented support system is not only about being surrounded by people who agree with everything you say or do, it's also important to seek out individuals who challenge your thinking and encourage you to stretch beyond your comfort zone. This may include people who have different perspectives or who possess expertise in areas you want to develop. Constructive criticism is a key component of growth. People who are willing to provide honest feedback, even when it's difficult to hear, help you improve and refine your ideas and actions. They are not afraid to tell you when you're not performing to your potential. And they do so with the intention of helping you grow, not to tear you down. It's also essential to include individuals in your support system who embody qualities that you admire and wish to cultivate in yourself. These role models or mentors can offer invaluable insights and guidance. By observing how they handle challenges, interact with others, and maintain their own personal growth, you can learn from their experiences and apply their wisdom to your own life. Mentorship is an essential part of a growth-oriented support system, as mentors can provide direction, wisdom, and encouragement that help you stay on track with your goals. They can also act as sounding boards, offering advice when you feel uncertain or need guidance on complex decisions. Another important aspect of a growth-oriented support system is the presence of accountability partners. These are individuals who hold you to your commitments and help ensure that you stay focused on your personal growth. An accountability partner is someone who regularly checks in with you, asks about your progress, and offers gentle reminders about your goals. The simple act of having someone who holds you accountable can increase your commitment to your goals and motivate you to stay consistent, even when you feel like giving up. They also help celebrate milestones, making the process of growth more rewarding and meaningful. In addition to direct interpersonal connections, a growth-oriented support system includes spaces where you can learn, share, and grow together with others. This could be a community of people with similar interests, a professional network, or even online groups and forums where ideas are exchanged. These environments foster an atmosphere of mutual growth, where you can not only receive support, but also contribute to the development of others. Engaging with such communities broadens your perspectives, exposes you to new ideas, and helps you stay informed about trends, research, or strategies that are relevant to your growth. Another key component of a growth-oriented support system is emotional support. Pursuing personal growth often involves stepping outside your comfort zone, which can be daunting and even overwhelming at times. During such moments, it's essential to have people who provide reassurance, encouragement, and empathy. Emotional support offers a foundation of strength that allows you to persevere through difficult moments and keep going, even when self-doubt creeps in. These are the people who listen without judgment, offer a safe space for vulnerability, and remind you that setbacks don't define your journey. They're simply part of the process. In the process of building a growth-oriented support system, it's crucial to also evaluate the relationships you currently have. Are the people around you contributing to your personal growth, or are they holding you back with negative energy, doubt, or indifference? Sometimes, for our own development, we need to distance ourselves from toxic relationships that drain our energy and hinder our progress. A healthy support system is composed of people who inspire and uplift, not those who bring negativity or conflict into your life. Learning to say no to toxic relationships or to set healthy boundaries is a necessary step in creating space for relationships that contribute to your growth. As you work toward building a support system that nurtures your growth, remember that it's also important to give back. A growth-oriented support system is reciprocal. Just as you benefit from the support of others, you should also contribute to the growth of those around you. By offering encouragement, advice, or simply being a source of motivation for others, you strengthen your network and create an environment where everyone can flourish. Supporting others not only strengthens relationships, but also reinforces your own commitment to personal growth. In conclusion, a growth-oriented support system is essential for long-term success and emotional strength. By surrounding yourself with individuals who share your values, challenge your thinking, provide constructive feedback, and offer emotional support, you create an environment that fosters both personal and professional growth. As you build and nurture these relationships, remember that the key to such a system lies in mutual respect, accountability, and a shared commitment to growth. A strong support system doesn't just help you achieve your goals. It empowers you to become the best version of yourself. Intentional detachment is the practice of consciously distancing oneself from outcomes, attachments, or external circumstances in order to maintain emotional balance and clarity. It's not about withdrawing or becoming indifferent. Rather, it's about creating space between yourself and the things that often trigger intense emotional responses. By practicing intentional detachment, you allow yourself to engage with the world without becoming consumed by it. This practice helps to protect your mental and emotional well-being, enabling you to navigate life's ups and downs with greater equanimity. At its core, intentional detachment is rooted in mindfulness, the ability to be fully present in the moment without being overwhelmed by emotions or external situations. This means acknowledging your feelings without allowing them to control your actions. For example, when faced with a challenging situation, such as a conflict at work or a personal disagreement, you can observe your emotional reactions without letting them dictate your response. There are a handful of attention practices that, dear listener, concentrate in on. Instead of automatically reacting out of anger or frustration, you can create a space for yourself to pause, breathe, and choose a more thoughtful response. Intentional detachment allows you to stay grounded and act with purpose, rather than being swept away by the turbulence of your emotions. One key aspect of intentional detachment is letting go of the need for control. Life is unpredictable. And while we can influence some aspects of our environment, there are many things beyond our control. The more we try to control outcomes or manipulate situations to our liking, the more frustration, anxiety, and stress we create for ourselves. Practicing intentional detachment also means freeing yourself from unhealthy attachments to people, outcomes, or material possessions. While it's natural to care about others and desire success or security, over-attachment to any of these things can lead to feelings of dependency and fear. When you attach your sense of self-worth or happiness to external factors, you open yourself up to disappointment and suffering when those things are no longer within your grasp. Intentional detachment is not about cutting off relationships or abandoning goals. It's about recognizing that your happiness, self-worth, and peace do not depend on anything or anyone outside of yourself. A crucial part of intentional detachment is learning to embrace impermanence. Everything in life is temporary, including emotions, relationships, and even material possessions. When we accept this truth, we can approach life with a sense of detachment, knowing that change is inevitable. Instead of becoming overly attached to a specific outcome or trying to hold on to things that no longer serve us, we learn to flow with life's natural rhythm. This mindset allows us to move through difficult moments with resilience and grace, understanding that even pain, loss, or disappointment is temporary. In this way, we can navigate the highs and lows of life with a sense of balance and perspective. Detachment also involves letting go of expectations. Often we experience frustration or resentment when things don't go according to plan or when people don't behave in the way we expect. Intentional detachment invites us to release the need for specific outcomes and accept things as they are. When we stop expecting life to unfold in a particular way, we open ourselves to new possibilities and outcomes that we might not have anticipated. This doesn't mean abandoning goals or losing ambition, but rather releasing the need for a rigid roadmap to success. Instead of feeling disheartened when things don't go as planned, you can approach each situation with curiosity and openness, knowing that even detours can lead to growth. Another aspect of intentional detachment is self-compassion. When you practice detachment, it's easy to feel guilty for not being more attached or committed to certain people or situations. However, intentional detachment is not about neglecting your responsibilities or disengaging from important relationships. It's about balancing your emotional involvement with the understanding that your worth and peace are not tied to others' expectations or your attachment to particular outcomes. Self-compassion means being kind to yourself as you let go of the need for validation or external approval. Intentional detachment also plays a vital role in reducing stress. The more we hold on to worries, regrets, and fears, the more we carry emotional weight that can negatively impact our well-being. By practicing detachment, we free ourselves from these burdens. Instead of obsessing over things that have already happened or worrying about things that might happen in the future, We learn to focus on the present moment. This mindfulness not only reduces stress, but also increases our ability to respond to challenges with clarity and composure. We stop being prisoners of our emotions and thoughts, allowing ourselves to move forward with a lighter, more focused mindset. In relationships, intentional detachment enables healthier boundaries. It's important to care deeply about others, but not at the expense of your own well-being. By practicing detachment, you can love and support those around you without becoming overly enmeshed in their problems or feeling responsible for their happiness. Healthy detachment allows for more balanced and fulfilling relationships where you can show up as your best self without losing sight of your own needs and identity. In conclusion, intentional detachment is a practice that empowers you to engage with life in a more mindful, balanced, and peaceful way. By learning to detach from outcomes, expectations, and unhealthy attachments, you can navigate the ups and downs of life with greater ease and resilience. It's not about withdrawing or becoming indifferent. Rather, it's about choosing to remain emotionally free and centered, regardless of what happens around you. When you practice intentional detachment, you give yourself the space to experience life fully, without being swept away by the tides of your emotions or circumstances. Committing to daily mental fitness is about prioritizing the health and strength of your mind, just as you would your physical health. One of the cornerstones of mental fitness is developing a habit of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to become distracted and overwhelmed by the constant influx of information. Taking a few minutes each day to focus on your breath, to meditate, or simply to pause and tune into your body can help center your mind and reduce stress. Mindfulness trains the brain to become less reactive and more aware, helping you to respond to situations thoughtfully rather than impulsively. The daily practice of mindfulness allows you to strengthen your attention span, improve emotional regulation, and increase your overall mental clarity. Along with mindfulness, it's important to cultivate a growth mindset. This mindset encourages you to view challenges as opportunities for learning and growth rather than as insurmountable obstacles. By shifting your perspective from a fixed mindset where you believe your abilities are static to a growth mindset where you believe you can improve through effort, you set yourself up for success. Mental fitness requires constant learning, and adopting a growth mindset makes it easier to embrace new challenges, overcome setbacks, and build resilience. By committing to daily mental fitness, you can incorporate small practices into your routine that promote learning and growth, whether through reading, skill building, or seeking new experiences that push you outside your comfort zone. In addition to fostering a growth mindset, it's crucial to practice self-reflection as part of your daily mental fitness routine. Taking time each day to reflect on your thoughts, actions, and experiences can help you gain insight into your habits, triggers, and emotional patterns. Journaling is an effective way to facilitate self-reflection, allowing you to process your thoughts and feelings, track your progress, and gain clarity on your goals. Through self-reflection, you become more aware of areas where you can improve, as well as recognize the strengths you can build upon. This awareness helps you make conscious decisions that align with your values and goals, reinforcing your mental fitness in a way that promotes long-term personal growth. Another key aspect of daily mental fitness is managing stress effectively. Stress is an inevitable part of life, but how we handle it determines its impact on our mental well-being. Incorporating stress management techniques into your daily routine helps build mental resilience. Physical activities like exercise, yoga, or walking can significantly reduce stress levels and boost mood. These activities release endorphins, which are natural mood enhancers and help improve overall brain function. Moreover, engaging in creative outlets such as art, music, or hobbies can also provide mental relaxation and foster a sense of accomplishment. By making stress management a daily priority, you strengthen your ability to stay calm and composed even in high-pressure situations. Mental fitness also involves nurturing positive habits that promote emotional well-being. Practicing gratitude, for example, can shift your focus from what is lacking or stressful to what is positive and fulfilling in your life. Taking time each day to acknowledge the things you are grateful for can rewire your brain to recognize opportunities for joy, connection, and contentment. Gratitude has been shown to improve overall mental health, increase happiness, and enhance relationships. Similarly, fostering a positive mindset through affirmations or focusing on self-compassion can help you build confidence and self-esteem. When you practice mental fitness daily, you condition your mind to think positively, which can have a profound impact on your mood and outlook on life. In addition to cultivating a positive mindset, prioritizing quality sleep is an essential aspect of mental fitness. Sleep is crucial for cognitive function, emotional regulation, and overall mental health. When you get adequate rest, your brain can process information more effectively, improve memory retention, and regulate emotions. Chronic sleep deprivation can impair decision-making, increase stress levels, and hinder your ability to focus. By committing to daily mental fitness, you ensure that you prioritize good sleep hygiene, such as maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, creating a restful environment, and practicing relaxation techniques before bed. Equally important is the practice of setting daily intentions. Each day presents a new opportunity to work toward your goals. But without a clear focus, it's easy to become distracted or overwhelmed. Setting intentional goals at the start of each day helps you stay on track and ensure that your actions are aligned with your long-term vision. Whether it's dedicating time to work, relationships, self-care, or learning, setting specific intentions helps you prioritize what matters most. Finally, surrounding yourself with a growth-oriented support system is essential for your mental fitness. The people you interact with regularly have a profound impact on your mindset and mental well-being. Surrounding yourself with positive, supportive individuals who inspire, motivate, and challenge you can provide the encouragement and accountability you need to stay committed to your mental fitness journey. In conclusion, committing to daily mental fitness is a powerful practice that enhances cognitive function, emotional resilience, and overall well-being by incorporating mindfulness, self-reflection, stress management, positive habits, adequate sleep, and intentional goal setting into your daily routine. You create a foundation for a strong and healthy mind. Just as physical fitness requires consistent effort, so does mental fitness.